Five, four, three, two, one, and we're live. Let's go, Wazir.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're watching this, how you're watching this. Close on, close off. It's your lovely NBA twins, guys. Whoa.
Close on, close off.
Yeah, like,
NBA
again,
podcast, the Bigs and Slim basketball podcast,
Bigs and I like that.
the Bigs and Slim ball
We're
podcast.
the colored Robin Big, you could say.
We're the colored what?
The colored Robin Big.
Who's
Rob
Big?
Dyrdek and that big black guy.
Bro, I don't know who you're
Big?
talking. I don't know who you're talking about.
From, from MTV, you don't know?
No, I don't. I don't watch
Uncultured.
MTV, bro. I don't watch MTV. That shit's whack. All right, but anyways, welcome to. We don't have a name, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the Slims and Big,
I think Slims and Big, or Big and Slim.
Big and Slim.
We can go big to small, we can go slim to big.
We'll play around with it. But Big and Slim, Bigs and Slims, ball podcast or a basketball podcast or NBA podcast, because we're just talking about the NBA, right? It's
We
NBA.
could.
Yeah,
That's what
and
we're
then we'll
doing.
have like a nice logo, all that.
Or
shit.
forget off the top. Let's hit off the backboard.
That's pretty. That's not bad.
Yeah,
still. That's actually not bad.
That's pretty good.
Off
Big
the-
and
off
Slims
the
and
back.
Big off the backboard.
Yeah, Slims and Bigs.
Yeah, off the top, dude.
backboard.
Slims and Big off the backboard.
Off the backboard.
And I think they like it. You know, it's like
I like it too.
if
to be
we're
honest.
sitting here talking a bunch of shit and they can be like, oh fuck these guys. But
Yeah.
like, we're on there.
Yeah, no, I definitely like. That's a good name. We'll talk about it more off camera and stuff. But that's not a bad name. We might have to take that.
All right,
I think of a logo and everything.
there you go.
But yeah, okay. So let's talk about what we're trying to do here. What this is, because like this is obviously there's no Surane here. I'm here. He's here. So what are we doing here? Like what is it? What is this?
What is this? Would you like to explain to them? Because I feel like I explain things sometimes and people go, I don't really get what's here. I want you to thoroughly explain to us what's going on here today.
Okay,
sir.
so I'm about to give you the synopsis of this entire show. Two guys that think they know basketball talk about basketball.
But do we think we know or do we know?
That's the thing. That's not for us to decide. It's for the people. It's for the people that listen to comment and give us their feedback and be like, yo, these guys actually know ball. Or these guys don't know jack shit. What the fuck are these guys talking about?
That's true. And I would like to be on House of Highlights. I think House of Highlights would love to have me.
Oh, yeah. No, bro. We'll submit all of our shit to every single platform in the fucking world.
There you go.
I'm going to tag like Bleacher Report, everything, every episode.
Facts.
Every episode,
Facts.
every podcast, every clip I post, tagging Bleacher Report, House
There
of
we go.
Highlights, this,
There
that,
we
that,
go.
that. Trying to be the number one basketball podcast in the world.
There we go.
All right, so
We're on to something, people.
on to something. All right, help us do something special. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, share, do everything. We're on Spotify, we're on iTunes, we're everywhere. YouTube, everything,
We're on YouTube?
bro. We're
I'm
YouTube,
kidding.
yeah. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Stitcher, TuneIn, iHeartRadio,
Grinder.
everything. Chill. Relax. We're not. He's on Grindr. I'm not.
Tinder ads.
All right, so this is a very special first episode, and so if you guys didn't know, it's the year is 2019. The 2019-2020 season is about to start. So we decided to do a podcast, do an episode where we just talk about our favorite moments and favorite highlights of the past decade. That's essentially what it is. So we talk about stuff like the best team, best player of the decade, MVP of the decade, best playoff series, all of that. Just really
Best
reminisce about the entire decade, and and just see where that takes us.
You never know, like what we may have brought to the table of what we may enjoy. If you guys have anything you enjoy, we will put the questions in the descriptions.
Yeah.
You guys can comment, DM us.
Yeah.
We'll reply.
Yeah.
And we can even have an open argument if you guys like.
At any point, if you guys feel like you guys disagree, do comment. If you guys agree, do comment. Feedback is always important, and the more you guys comment and respond to us, the more we can respond to you guys and have a debate. And if we're lucky, and if you're lucky, we can even call you guys on the show and have a debate on right live. So so always provide feedback and all that stuff, and you never know, we can probably do something for you guys.
Also, I believe what I want to do is the best comment or the highest liked comment on the episode.
Yeah.
I personally, with my table reading, I will read out to the folks
That's good.
because my reading's terrible.
I like that.
See, we'll call it we'll call it Wazir's reading corner.
Yeah. So
And I'll read the open comment.
every week. We can do a video where you read every single comment on all our videos.
We will do that.
Yeah.
There
Until we get like 100, 200 comments, and then we'll select like the top 20 or something.
Top 20.
Yeah.
Till then, everyone's comments getting read no matter what.
Yeah.
We're gonna show love to every person.
So even if you say something stupid, he's gonna have to read it. So
yeah, even if it's like fuck you and fuck your life and you have no neck, I'll read it.
Yeah.
Like I'll laugh.
Yeah.
I'll be hurt. Like I don't like being bullied, but I'll laugh. Like you could say that.
I'll be laughing off camera. All right, so let's get into this. All right, so where do we begin? All right, so our first. Where we start?
You want to jump around? I'm down. You can jump around.
We'll start right from the top because the beginning of an NBA career starts when you're drafted.
Well,
all right. So, best draft pick of the decade. Who do you think the best draft pick was of the decade?
Mine?
Yeah.
2009, Stephen Curry.
Okay, that's a good pick.
He has the most championships.
Yeah. That's actually not a bad pick. But I mean, okay, so in the beginning of his career, obviously everyone's like, "Yo, this guy's probably gonna be a bust." Give some context on where Steph Curry was.
Okay, so Stephen Curry, I've been watching Stephen Curry since Stephen Curry's been on Davidson.
Yeah.
So Stephen Curry came on Davidson. Davidson was a terrible college team. I kid you not.
Yeah.
They're absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
They didn't come up, and then they came up out of the tournament as a princess with a Cinderella or whatever it was.
Cinderella story. Yeah.
And Stephen Curry would come out night in, night out and drop 30 points a game, 20 points a game, whatever it was, so on and so forth, and they'd win. Eventually, they lost, and everyone's like, "Wow, Stephen Curry."
They lost in the 16.
Oh yeah, 16. They lost in 16, and then everyone's like, "Oh, Stephen Curry."
Yeah.
As we processed Stephen Curry, we got to him getting drafted.
Yeah.
And I promise you, when he got drafted, I thought he was gonna be like. When I knew he got drafted, I was like, "This guy's gonna be a boss."
Yeah.
Because we're like, he's short. Everyone makes fun of light skins. Unless you're Derrick Rose.
This was a scouting report on Steph Curry at the time. Bad ankles, skinny, too small, not a playmaker.
No, the bad ankles didn't come till now. Back then, he didn't have bad ankles.
No, but he was like he had a dodgy.
He was just extremely small and like
everyone thought he was
technically he was like malnourished in the NBA.
Yeah.
Everyone in the NBA was like jacked, ready to go, and he was completely a different height, different size.
Yeah, and everyone was like, "Yo, this guy's definitely a 2 guard," and he was too small to be a 2 guard at that point. Yeah, like at that point, Kobe was still dominating the league, and Kobe's like 6'6". So
Kobe's 6'6",
and he's 6'1". So he wasn't the prototypical 2 guard. He didn't even have to end up being a 2 guard. He's the most accomplished of the decade.
Yeah,
we could say. Yeah, like he's won multiple MVPs. Actually, maybe behind LeBron, but multiple MVPs, multiple championships, and he's leading a dynasty. So that's a really good pick. Good job, bro. So my pick, less clear cut than that. I didn't think that far. I went with I actually have 2 picks. So I actually chose Anthony Davis.
Why Anthony Davis?
Because I feel like Anthony Davis is like the next transcendent player, like that next player. To me, Anthony Davis is a combination of all the great power forwards of all time, just put into one guy. He's athleticism from KG, the defense of Tim Duncan, KG. You know, he just does everything. He has the range of like the Dirks. Like he has everything from he has a little bit of everything from every great power forward of all time. And so to me, I think this next decade is where he's going to start his run because he's still like, he's like 24, 25. Mm-hmm. I think this like from this year on, now that he's on the Lakers in the spotlight, he's gonna really hit that stride and show why he's that once in a generation talent. So that's why I chose him. And I also had Giannis. Because obviously Giannis has already done so much, and he's like 24 as well, or 23.
He's young, yeah.
He's
won MVP.
He's already won an MVP, and he hasn't even added a jumper yet. So I think that's gonna come in the next years or so. Like he has that worth ethic that like he's definitely gonna put on more to his game. Like he's not gonna be stagnant, and he's gonna go on to the next. Like I think both of them are gonna dominate from each of their conferences for the next like generation, like next 10 years. So that's why they're my best picks. They haven't really accomplished as much as Steph Curry, but to me, I was looking more towards the future and what they're going to do versus what they've already done this decade. Because you can also throw in Harden, because Harden was the 3rd pick behind Blake Griffin and Hasheem Thabeet. Yeah, so you can throw in him. You can throw in... Yeah, there's like a bunch of people you can throw in. But like, yeah, Steph Curry is probably the most accomplished. Good. Yeah. Okay, so we went to the best pick. What do you think about the worst pick of the decade?
Worst pick ever? Like a decade?
The whole decade.
Lance Stevenson.
Lance Stevenson?
Lance Stevenson.
Why?
And like I think just in general, the 2010 class was a terrible class. Like it was terrible.
Yeah.
Like John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins. It's just trash.
Like
Devin E. Banks.
yeah.
Like, again, there's people that do not play.
Yeah.
Like, I think the amount of players in the 2010 draft class is the least amount of players that are still playing now. Like, that's the least amount of players that are still actively playing.
Maybe. Yeah.
Like, well, again, Lance Stevenson, he was good.
Yeah.
But he was a joke. He's a joke.
Yeah, he's not. Is he on the team? No, he's on China now, right?
He's in China. That's what I mean. He's on China. Like, he's a full-time joke. That's why I think he's the worst pick of the decade.
Okay. I would argue that he's contributed to teams that went pretty far. Like he's helped the Pacers go pretty far, and
Yeah, like I said, he was good on the Pacers.
yeah,
He was good.
yeah,
But again, he was a joke.
yeah.
Like till this day, we all still use the same ass like GIF, whatever you guys call it, of the like on LeBron. like he's a joke, or like the rock and roll one,
Yeah,
or
I
like
love that. I do that.
for him fighting Charlotte and the front office,
Yeah.
and like you see what I mean? Like just he's a plain just a joke,
Yeah.
a complete joke of this entire NBA decade.
I really appreciated Lance's career, and even if he doesn't come back to the NBA, I do appreciate you, Lance, and thank you for making the NBA better when you did. To me, the worst pick of the decade is clear cut, the part of the worst draft class, Anthony Bennett. There's no doubting that this guy was probably he was overpicked. First of all, he shouldn't have been that high, and he ended up being a bust. Like he went to the Raptors 905. He was on the Raptors. He was on the Cavs. I don't think he went anywhere else. He was a bust. Like I didn't see anything from him from college that made me think, okay, cool, this guy's even a first rounder.
Yeah.
He was there's nothing about him that screamed first pick. And so the fact that he's taken first, he was definitely the worst pick. Who else was in that draft class? I'm pretty sure there was a few people that, wasn't Giannis in that draft class?
Think so.
Something like that. But yeah, so there's definitely a lot more picks that the Cavs could have went with. They went with Anthony Bennett. They could have had a very solid team before LeBron, if this pick worked out, because they would have had.
Yo, it wasn't gonna work. I watched college basketball. I didn't even know who the hell he was.
Yeah, trust me.
Like when he got picked, I was like,
He was like a no one's mock top 30.
like I was like,
I'm
I could I woke up and I was like, huh?
I thought I was tripping. I thought I was in a dream or whatever. But yeah, that was crazy. That was super crazy.
That was absolutely terrible.
Yeah. All right. So, best individual game of the decade. What did you put for the best individual game? So this is pretty much one person playing, their performance that entire game was just
Okay, so
last decade would be 81 for Kobe stuff.
So I based my answer
Yeah.
not on how they performed. They performed mighty swell,
Yeah.
but I based it on just I really enjoyed the game as is.
Okay.
But Utah Jazz against Lakers, last game of the season.
Oh, Kobe
farewell game.
Kobe 60. That's that's a pretty good.
He shot terribly. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, okay.
He shot absolutely terrible. But for a farewell game, hey.
Yeah, for a 40-year-old Kobe, was 40, 37?
Yeah, he was old. Like
30,
38?
37. But he was old. Yeah, no, that's definitely for that age, because I remember the week before, 2 weeks before, Shaq's like, yo, you gotta get me 50. He's like, nah, I can't do that. And then he went and got 60. And the fact that he eliminated the Utah Jazz. Yeah. So it's there's no way the Utah Jazz were letting him doing it because they were trying to make the playoffs.
He was just busting ass.
He was just busting ass. So that was simple. That was massive. That was pretty dope. That's actually a good one. That was a good. I wouldn't have chose that, but because he did shoot pretty badly, and he did chuck up 52 shots, 54 shots, or whatever. But the fact that it was his last game, last legs, all of that, and he got the Staples Center go rocking crazy. Snoop Dogg, everyone was hyped.
Everyone was there, yeah.
So yeah,
even Mark Wahlberg was in the stand. I mean, no sense.
Everyone, Jack Nicklaus, everyone. All right, so to me personally, the best individual game belongs to the guy whose jersey I'm wearing right now, Harden. Harden 60 10 10 60-point triple-double. To me, I don't think that's ever been done. Maybe Wilt did it, but Wilt doesn't really count for anything because
who watched Wilt?
Yeah, I didn't watch Wilt.
I don't think Wilt was even on television.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't even think Wilt was part of the Lakers.
Barely any footage and stuff.
I don't know why they brought Wilt part of the Lakers, Wilt part of this. Sometimes I think Wilt's a myth.
Yeah, Wilt is he's like the Latinus monster.
But 60 10
60 10 10
is no joke.
No joke. A triple-double, at this point, this is when triple-doubles were starting to become a norm. But even then, before Harden and Westbrook, before Harden and Westbrook were doing it, Mr. Triple Double was Rajon Rondo before that, and before that was obviously Oscar Robinson. But like when Rondo would get these triple doubles in the playoffs, where like 25 assists and stuff, everyone was like, "Yo, this guy's like the triple double machine."
But not even just like it wasn't just Rondo's triple doubles that he was getting; it's how he was getting it.
Yeah.
Like I remember one game against I think it was a Raptors, old Raptors team.
Yeah.
And he got I think it was like 10 steals, 10 rebounds, 10 assists.
Yeah, he was like the most
Which
creative
is like
triple-doubles, yeah.
magnificent because there's no points in being involved.
Yeah,
with it.
he wouldn't even get the points. Yeah, so like to me, the fact that scoring 60 is hard and getting triples hard. The fact that he collabed both of it, definitely probably one of the best performances obviously of the thing. I'm sure there's a few. I think LeBron had a 53-point game, which was pretty big. I'm pretty
Kobe's
sure
81.
Kobe,
That's in the decade.
No, that was last decade.
last
But like there's a lot of performances. But to me, the 60 and 10-10, like in terms of statistics, that one stood out the most.
That's right. Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
I get that one. I got
Yeah.
that. It was big. Like it's not small, right? It took him like what 28 shots, roughly.
Yeah, something like that. He was going to work. It was like last season, I think.
Oh, he was crushing it.
What else was there? Durant had a 54-point game. Oh, Devin Booker had a 71. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Even
on the
though it was in a
Celtics.
loss, though.
On the Celtics.
Yeah, that was in a loss. So I don't know.
Who else had a big game?
Yeah, no. There's a
been
lot.
there.
Man. There's like Paul George snapping. Like a lot of people.
Trey Young snapping.
Yeah, there's a lot
Trey
of.
got like a 40 and 12 game one time. That was a good. It's been a good NBA season the last decade. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
It's been
Definitely.
good.
What do you think? This past decade or the decade before that? I think the 2000s.
Everyone's gonna hate me
What?
this decade.
Really?
I'm enjoying it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like like it's just like I was able to see. I came from a time where I got to see the shift.
Yeah.
Like I legit saw the shift from we need fat big men in the paint to we need somebody skinnier than Dirk,
Yeah.
as fast as Curry,
Yeah.
and shoot lights out like Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
And that became Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
So it's just like I've grown to see who has helped and switched the league.
Yeah.
Like when the league was all big men, it was all Hakeem Olajuwon,
Yeah.
Shaq, Timmy, David Robinson. It was all of them. And then and as soon as Curry and Steph got into it,
Yeah.
they caused it to completely shift to a 3-pointer.
3-pointers. Yeah.
And then that helped. It completely changed.
Yeah.
And now everyone shoots like legit. Everybody shoots threes. Yeah, videos of Dwight trying to make threes.
Brooke Lopez. He used to be a big post-up guy, and now he's a 3-point shooter.
Brooke Lopez came into the league
Exclusive.
doing nothing.
Brooke Lopez was at one point probably the best in terms of like best post game. Like he had like the most moves and stuff. And now if you look at 2019, he's probably posted up like he's shot more threes than he's posted
Still
up.
busting ass.
Yeah, but he's shooting threes like he's like
I think he's top 5. I still think he's really good.
center.
Yeah,
Maybe.
He's really
I mean,
good.
center's really weak position now.
That's a
so
very
it's
weak
the thing.
position.
Okay, so next question is the best individual season. So this might be someone's MVP.
Who'd you put?
Okay, so I have 2.
Okay.
One is Durant's MVP season. 34,
Oh, yeah, that was deadly.
34, 8 and 5.
That's when he broke McGrady's scoring record.
Yeah, like he that was the first time someone averaged 30 since Kobe before that. So like over 30, and it was 34. That best season also Harden's 36 season, Westbrook's triple double.
That's what I put on mine.
So those are the 3 I had to pick towards. Since you put Westbrook triple double, I'll take the Durant MVP season.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, the fact that they're both on the same team is pretty nuts.
Yeah, it's nuts.
That's crazy.
It was just too much drama between.
All right, so let's talk about Westbrook's triple double season.
So I got the chance
Yeah.
to really watch every game.
Yeah.
Like I watched I think I probably watched maybe like 30, 40 of them.
Yeah.
No matter how, whether it's Reddit. Like when that happened, things were still coming on First Row Sport. Like that's how long.
Yeah.
I got to watch a lot. It was good. It was with a terrible team. It was like he had to play with like Kyle Singler.
Yeah.
Like Kyle Singler had to get threes.
Yeah.
Ibaka was like evolving
Yeah.
and Perkins was an
No,
old like
Ibaka they just traded away.
Oh, yeah,
to
they
the
did trade it,
Magic,
yeah.
yeah.
They
So
traded- so
to
it's
give
just-
context, Westbrook's triple double season came right off of when Durant left.
that
and
was
went to the Golden State
2012,
Warriors.
right?
Westbrook's triple
Oh,
double.
no, 2015, 2016?
2017.
Really?
2017 season, yeah.
Wow.
2 MVPs ago. Yeah, so Durant just left, went to the Warriors. The Warriors obviously won that year. But Westbrook went on this whole redemption tour of like, yo, I'm gonna rip every single team and get a triple double for the entire season, and he went nuts. And so he had a very bad team.
I can read it to you right now how terrible they were.
Yeah, go.
All right, Raymond Felton,
Yeah,
Isaiah Cannon,
cool.
Cameron Payne, Jerry Grant, Oladipo,
Oladipo ended up being solid after that.
Nick
He was
Collison,
really good.
Kyle Singler, Anthony Morrow, Norris Cole, Zabonis when he first got drafted.
Sabonis is solid now too.
That's like Dakari Johnson.
Yeah.
That's about it. PJ Dozier,
Steven
Adams, like
Yeah, no, that team had no spacing.
Taj
nothing.
Gibson, and Doug McDermott.
Yeah, no, that team sucked. That team actually really sucked.
That team was
The fact that he took into the playoffs is huge. Obviously, bright spots in there. Steven Adams, still a very solid center. If I'm pretty sure someone's gonna pick him up from OKC for a couple draft picks, especially a contender. Sabonis, 6th man of the year contender, very good center, very good
I
center.
love watching him play.
He's really good.
I love watching him play.
Victor Oladipo, he's injured right
Another
now,
great
but
player.
he's a stud. Like, he's really nice. Watching him play in the playoffs when he was going against LeBron, he was putting in work.
Yeah.
He's definitely that was definitely the bright spots of that team. But however, at that time they weren't clicking, they weren't good. It was still a very young team, and Westbrook just went crazy. Durant, the MVP season, he just went buck. I think that was the year Westbrook was injured actually.
Yeah.
And so he had to put the team on his back, and he carried them to a 2 seed, which was pretty big in the West. The fact that he was by himself, I think he had like Derek Fisher and shit. Yeah. So like, that was also a pretty bad team minus Durant, but he went crazy. He took him to the thing, and I think they ended up losing to the Grizzlies.
I believe so.
Yeah, they lost to the Grizzlies in the Western Conference Finals or Western Semis. So yeah, those are two best individual seasons that we believe. Runners up, 2012 LeBron. Who else is there?
Paul George that year.
Unanimous. Steph Curry.
Yeah.
That could probably win.
The year Paul George and then went to Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
They were like a 4th seed.
Okay. So best regular season team. What did you pick for the best regular season team?
A team that won it all last year. The Raptors.
Oh, really?
Right. Yo, I'll tell you that. Yo,
Yeah.
I'm not a Raptors. I wasn't born and raised a Raptors fan. I'm born and raised a Kobe fan.
Yeah.
Born and raised a
But we live in Toronto.
I live in Toronto.
Yeah.
Again, so when you live in Toronto, you have to adapt to Toronto culture, adapt to Toronto. All the Toronto stuff is going on.
Yeah.
I had the chance to watch a couple games. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Okay, so
For all the mid season trades, pretty good.
I won't even lie to you. That season, okay, so we've lived in Toronto for a very long time. Our whole lives. So I wasn't really a Toronto fan growing up either, as a Boston fan, because Toronto wasn't really relevant. They sucked. All right, they had
They're
They
asshole.
had Holy Calderon and like Jamario Moon, and like they were terrible. Like they were bad.
Marco Bellinelli.
We were picking Bargnani with the #1 pick when Aldridge was on the board. So
Jay
shit
Triano,
like that.
Jay
like-
Triano was our coach.
yeah, like shit like that, you just didn't want to support. So we weren't diehard Raptors fan. And Raptors were always like in the back, like they were my second team. Like I would be like, okay, cool. Hopefully they win one day, so we witness that.
Celebrate.
And that happened. But yeah, so last year, so we were watching them as like since probably that Rudy Gay trade where they started going crazy, and we've been following. They go on everywhere. They've played everywhere. We've been following them. They were always a good, solid team, and we were always happy to support. But the thing that happened last year when they got Kawhi, there was just different energy in the entire city. Everyone actually genuinely felt like we had a chance to win, and I don't know what it was. The whole season felt like, yo, we knew we were in the middle of greatness.
You know what it was? I think it was because we had that. We had the #1 piece missing.
Yeah.
Like we had scoring.
Yeah.
No matter what season it was, Raptors had scoring.
Yeah.
But the one thing Raptors always lacked on is perimeter defense constantly.
Everything from Damari Carroll to fucking.
Like DeMar Carroll would get like his ass bust, like 40 on his head. But like anybody.
And then we got PJ Tucker, but PJ Tucker was not enough to stop
PJ
LeBron.
Tucker was winning like 220 then, and LeBron's like, okay, bye, running past him. So like.
Yeah. And then we throw Baca. Baca was too slow.
Ibaka's too slow.
You know,
Like, everyone was Patrick Peterson. Everyone is too slow.
Patrick Peterson. Oh my god.
Everyone was too slow.
Yeah.
So when we got a chance to get Kawhi, which was like, okay, it was sad to let DeRozan go. Don't
Yeah,
get me wrong, but like it was the best decision the Raptors ever made in their entire lives.
Definitely.
So like, we're getting Kawhi. We had the defense on like more than just a perimeter level, but an all around level.
Yeah.
And then we got Marc Gasol.
Yeah.
And then like that's when my energy
Danny Green.
really started shifting towards the Raptors.
Yeah.
Like when I heard Marc Gasol, I was like this. Like I was at home and I was like, okay, what's going on? So what Marc Gasol?
Yeah.
I was like, I love watching
I
Marcus.
was like,
I love
I
Marcus.
was a
Gasol.
huge Marcus Gasol guy because I used to be a huge fan of the Grant Grant. Because one of my favorite players was Zach
Once upon a
Rondo.
time, Marcus Gasol the defense championship, one defensive
Yeah.
award winner. So to see that,
Yeah.
and then have Danny Green,
Yeah.
defensive player of the year, one like on defensive team one,
Yeah.
Kawhi. It was just so much focus on defense that I sat there and I said, maybe we have a shot.
Yeah. And the biggest thing was, I don't know what it was about this season. Is like this was the season I started buying like shirts and like banners and hats. And I'm just like, yo, they might actually have a shot this year. Like I actually genuinely thought if something were to happen to Golden State Warriors, which ended up happening, that the Raptors could probably win because they're the best team in the East. I definitely believe that, and here we go, 2019 champions. So that was really good season.
Fantastic for us. I was a happy kid.
Okay, so for my pick for the best regular season team, I had two. These two teams won at a very historic rate. Won 27 games or 28 games in a row, which is like 4 off from the record of games in a row. And the other team won the most, had the most wins in a season. So the 2016 Warriors, who ended up losing in the finals to the Cavs, which we will talk about later because that's definitely in our list, and the 2012 Heat. To me, both these teams, I would have loved to see them go against each other. The 2012 Heat versus the 2016 Warriors, I think would have been an amazing matchup.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who I'd pick to win. I think I'd personally pick the Heat to win, actually. I think the Heat were a better team. Just because LeBron at that time was a fucking god. Like, and they still had like the top 3. This is like the season where we seen the last of D Wade. Of being D Wade, and Chris Bosh was getting that stroke game good. Like he was
getting that stroke game good.
Yeah, no homo. Yeah. Like, he was starting to hit the 3. Mike Miller, Shane Battier, like they were just.
You know one thing no one realized about that team was that was a lot of old players.
Greg Oden
came from teams that were where there were duos.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, Shane Battier was teammates with Miller.
And Ray Allen.
And Ray Allen.
And Rashard Lewis is on.
Rashard Lewis on the same team as Ray Allen. And then Bosh came from his own team.
Yeah.
Chris Anderson came from his own team.
Birdman.
There was Eddie House.
Yeah. Yeah, that team was
PJ Brown.
Stacked. That team was fucking stacked.
Good.
That team is better than the 2016 Warriors, in my opinion. They might not have won as many games, but that team was better than the 2016 Warriors. Think about it. Okay, Curry, Clay, Draymond, Bogut. Who else was there? Festus Zeeley, Maurice Spates. Who else was their backup guards?
Livingston, Ian Clark,
Iguodala.
Again, it's a very, very.
I'm taking the Heat.
It's a very like neck and neck type of game.
The 2012 Heat were the best regular season team of the decade. Okay. I'm taking them. 2012 Heat were fucking dominant. They were just like. Because LeBron just came off that loss against that disappointing loss. He averaged like 9 points, and he was like
he had a 6-point game.
Yeah, and you're shooting like 20% in the fourth quarter. The finals, like he came off the most disappointing loss. And then what Skip Bayless says, the most disappointing loss of a superstar ever. He came off that, flipped the switch, won MVP, dismantled OKC in 5, just went nuts the entire season, won 28 games in a row, which is fucking hard as hell. Like they turned when playoff time was coming up, they turned that gear on. They hit the playoffs running, and honestly, no one stopped them. They took out the Celtics easily. The only test was the Pacers, and the Pacers really weren't going to beat them. Like, let's be completely honest.
That's true.
That's where our boy Lance came in and gave a pretty heroic performance. But Rondo got his elbow snapped by D Wade. Like, a lot of shit happened, but they were not going to lose that year.
That was terrible. Oh.
They weren't going to lose. So that was my favorite. That was not my favorite team. That was, in my opinion, the best regular season team of that year. Best regular season game. What did you pick for this?
2016 Warriors against OKC. When Curry hit that like halfway.
That's mine too.
That's a crazy one.
That was honestly, that game, I remember watching it, and like everyone was going nuts. Like everyone was going nuts.
That game made no sense.
Like, and here's the thing. Before Durant left and went to Golden State, OKC versus Golden State was probably the best game to watch. Like if they were playing, That's the team. Those are the teams that's the team you want to watch because those two teams were young, up and coming, had the best offensive talent in the fucking game. It was just always a sight to see. So going into that game, you knew something crazy was gonna happen, and that was I don't know if you remember when ESPN was still doing the 3-point lines that lit up when you shot from three. So I remember seeing the line light up, and I seen Steph Curry just pass half. There's like a couple seconds left, whoof, and just that was nasty.
That made no sense to me. Why?
Yeah.
There was so much time left on the clock.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even like he just like he really just like flaunted that I can shoot a three.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I'm tired of you guys, so like I just want to go home to my kids.
And the crazy part is that the time the ball traveled in the air is what killed the rest of the clock out. Like it's boom, and you're just like yo, like he just did that. Like that was crazy. Runner.
It was a surreal like 2K moment.
Yeah, that was crazy. I've probably done that in 2K to be honest.
What's a runner up for you?
Runner up, Dallas versus OKC. That was a big game too.
The opening night
where I think Durant just went from like he just came across the top of the key, came to the side, and boom, just won. I think it was like an OT or double OT or whatever. Yeah. I'm sure there's a few other ones I didn't really think that much, but that to me was like, yo, that was crazy. Like that's the game that stands out to me. I'm sure there's a few like LeBron returning to Cleveland, stuff like that. LeBron returning to Miami, he didn't play that. There's definitely more out there.
Christmas, Lakers versus Miami. That was a showtime. Yeah.
Then
Carmelo versus the Celtics. Christmas was it?
That's a really good one.
Well, Carmelo hit the game winner after game winner.
He's like,
that's what started it.
That was good. What's it called? Warriors versus Cavs Christmas.
That was good. Yeah,
there's a lot of good Christmas games. Yeah, so I think look at that Mellow one might be my
one of the big ones. Yeah,
that might be my favorite actually. I didn't really think about it like that, but to me that game was definitely to me I feel like that was the best game.
I don't know. Mellow. I would say Melo's return from injury to Denver and dropping 15 dunking on Paul Millsap probably a good game also.
Probably
But that was like 2008, 2009. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, it was a while ago. No, it was like 2012.
2012.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so put that on my list. That was a good game.
That was a good game. Yeah. What else is there? You can go. Derrick Rose going for 50. That was a big game too.
Danny Green and Gary Neal going for like 30 together from 3-point line.
Yeah. So like, there's a lot of games. You obviously so. So that was the best regular season game. Best in-game dunk. What was your best in-game dunk?
Mine is Blake Griffin all over the New York Knicks.
All over the Knicks.
All over the Knicks.
Okay, so
that was one game.
Put into context.
But my runner up for that one is Kobe dunking on Chris Paul.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go Kobe on Gerald Green and thing where the two came at him and Brook Lopez and on him on the Nets.
That fast break dunk was perfect because that was just like Chris Paul's like, I'm still the ball. Kobe's old. Yeah. Kobe just said, nah.
Yeah.
Boop. It was over.
That was a good one.
That's my runner up. But Blake Griffin all over the Knicks was, again, till this day, still comes on the internet. It's still put on the internet no matter what time of day it is. Yeah. Like I put in top 10 dunks or top 100 dunks, that dunk always comes in.
Okay, so to put into context, Blake Griffin, probably one of the best dunkers ever, like especially in the beginning of his career.
In-game dunker?
Okay, so he has a bunch of best in-game dunker because he has the one on Paul Gasol. He has the two on Paul Gasol at the same game. He has the one on Kendrick Perkins. He has the one
Mozgov. One on
Mozgov, and I think he did.
And the one did a spin move on Gallinari.
There you go. So so he has like in terms of in-game dunks and a big man, Blake Griffin might be up there. Cool, to me, I think it was a pretty easy choice. The one dunk I seen where I dropped my jaw, I'm like, yo, what the fuck is that? Gerald Green windmill lob.
That was great. With Marshawn Brooks lobbing it.
When he was looking inside the rim. To put into context, I can grab the mesh. But like I'm not even like that's hard.
Yeah, he had she was like looking like, oh, okay, I want to dunk
in here. He
looked
inside the rim, windmill on a lob, boom. No brainer to me. That was the most impressive dunk I've seen in this entire decade. Really? Runner up, J.R. Smith dunk over thing where on the Nuggets. Remember where he jumped from like almost the free throw line
on Patty Mills.
I think it was on Patty Mills.
What
else was there? Oh, J.R. Smith the catch lob where you went like that and just put it up.
Oh, on the Knicks.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot. I'm trying to think if there's any more. But yeah,
Lamont
most
Shumpert, putbacks.
yeah.
Porzingis is putbacks.
Yeah.
All the Porzingis dunking on who was dunking.
DeAndre Jordan on Brandon Knight.
Brandon Knight.
Yeah, so like there's a
There's a lot.
a lot of Lob City ones for sure. Oh, the one where Jamal Crawford threw it under and threw it up, and then
Dude, that was
Boom.
okay though.
that's nasty.
That
I've
was
always
okay.
wanted
The
to do
lob
that.
was better than the dunk.
Okay, but no, but then
The
boom,
lob was
caught,
better,
Windmill,
brother.
Boom.
Brother, the lob was better than the dunk.
Okay, but it's part of the dunk. It's
so
all part
what?
of it.
The windmill wasn't even a full full extension. The man went like baby cradle like.
No, that was a full. It was full. It was.
Uh-huh.
We'll play it. I'll play it right here. No, I actually won't. But yeah. So there's a lot of dunks of the decade. It's hard to. It's like it's hard to pick one specifically, but these are the ones that we've picked. Obviously, there's a lot more. If you feel like you've know one that you think is better than these ones, comment it. All right. So best crossover.
I have a bunch, but
Go.
I'm
nuts.
stuck between.
Okay, if you have a bunch, let me go first.
Okay.
Harden crossing Wesley Matthews.
Okay.
To me, okay, some people might argue it's a travel, it's not a travel. But to me that was just disgusting. The fact that he just sat there, looked at him, then hit the three, waited, then hit the three. To me, that was the best one of the decade. What's yours?
My this happened in 2009,
Yeah.
like just near the end of 2009. Rondo crossing over Steve Nash with the whoop.
Oh,
That one.
Okay,
I'm
I
old.
remember that.
I'm so old.
and I remember that one.
Kobe crossing over Portland Trailblazers with in the corner like that.
When we did the spin move.
Yeah. Kyrie Irving
yeah.
crossing over Brandon Knight.
Oh, but I didn't do that because it wasn't a regular season game. But that's definitely
That's
probably
a big one. Kyrie Irving crossing over the Milwaukee Bucks last season.
Yeah.
Like there's like so many.
Yeah. A lot of Derrick Rose ones.
A lot of
Derrick
Derrick Rose on Andre Miller, which is like 2000.
Oh yeah.
Which is a big one.
Yeah.
There's so many.
Yeah.
But my big one because it wasn't a regular season, I still chose it. Kyrie Irving crossing Brandon Knight.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says.
We can take that one. Yeah.
His heel said, "I think it's time for us to go to the bench." Like his heel went like. His body went forward, but his heel went this. His heel just went like,
Yeah. That was bad.
And it was game, set, match.
That was bad. Yeah. And the fact that it was like a game for fun, and the man just went nuts on him like that. It's like, come on, bro. Why would you have to do that?
Or even who did Dwayne Wade crossed over somebody recently?
Who?
Dwayne Wade crossed over somebody recently so bad that they fell on the floor. I forgot who it was. It was terrible. It was old though. It was like
honorable mention goes to Joe Johnson on Paul Pierce. That was a nasty one. That might be the nasty. The one where he just
Paul Pierce went like
and then he reached in.
Probably like Ray Charles like he was like
fell.
Paul was like
honorable mention also Jameer Nelson on Paul Pierce where he went like that and almost fucked up his leg. That was a bad one. Yeah, there's a lot of them. Again, comment if you do.
No, but the Rondo and Steve Nash is dead.
Yeah, that was crazy. And you get do those Rondo fakes count as crossovers? No, right?
No.
Yeah, but those are nice too. Okay, so MVP of the decade, 2009 to 2019.
I hate to say it.
I think it's pretty obvious.
I hate to say it.
What?
Like I hate him. Like I don't hate him now. We're good friends now. Like you have a love.
He's on your team, right?
He's on my team now. But LeBron James.
LeBron James, definitely.
No ifs, ands, buts. Just LeBron James. Move on from it.
2000, yeah.
You can't argue it. There's nothing to say.
Yeah, there's no argument for this. Okay, so if Kobe was the best player from 2000 to 2010, then 2010 to 2020 is LeBron James. That's completely obvious. He had 3 championships. Like he's gone to 8 straight finals. Like, and the most MVPs of the decade. Like he's just overall been the most dominant player of the decade without any fact. Now there might have been times where I personally feel Durant's been the best player since 2017, but like stuff like there's no debating that the longevity and the dominance of LeBron the entire decade, it has to go to him. He's been doing this for a while, and he like the fact that he's been going to the hasn't been injured like that, like the longevity, just everything. Like he hit his prime pretty much.
Like as long as injury was last year.
Yeah. So. Like there's obviously honorable mentions. There's KD. There's all those guys. Paul George, like stuff like that. But the MVP of the decade, no doubt, LBJ. If anyone else wants to debate that, you can come and debate that with us. You'd probably be wrong. All right, so now that we're done all the regular season awards, we'll go into our playoff stuff. So our best playoff series. What was that one series that you watched and you're just like, yo, like it gave you like shivers down your spine?
2016 Golden State OKC. The
2016? Yeah, 3-1 deficit comeback. Yeah,
That
Game
was-
6 Clay.
That gave him the name Game 6 Clay. Like that. I was like in like awe. I was like, hey yo. I was like, I sat there. I'm like, they're gonna win it all. This is the ending of it. We're good. It's finished.
Yeah, I was like, yo,
I
Durant's
sat there and I'm like, what's going on?
yeah.
1 win, 2 win, 3. I was just like, okay, over. I was like, they really just lost to an overweight Draymond Green. Like, he was overweight as hell right then. But again, they got their asses whooped.
Yeah, no, Game 6 Clay, that's the series where Game 6 Clay came in alive. That series arguably shifted the entire momentum of the NBA because after that it was when Kevin Durant left and went and joined them. So that created a dynamic that changed the entire narrative of the NBA, of the super teams, all of that. Like that created the most dominant team of all time, probably the most talented roster of all time, minus the Bulls. Maybe.
Well, technically an all-time team, man.
It was an all-time team, definitely. That's going to be a team that you're going to be able to play with in 2K in 5 years. Like,
yeah.
you know? So that series was very important to the landscape of how the basketball is today. So, yeah, I can definitely see that. To me, my best or favorite playoff series as a Boston fan was this one hurt a lot. But 2012 Eastern Conference Finals, Boston versus Miami.
Ooh.
Where
2 game winners in his face?
Where LeBron just went Game 6 nuts.
That we had the 2 game winners in Paul Pierce's face?
Yeah.
He just went like 1, came back again, bang.
Yeah, and kind of ended it, and that's where he went there.
Yeah.
That's where he started all that. As a Boston fan, that series very, very hurt because we were up 3-2 or 3-1.
Didn't you get that Von Wafer then?
Yeah. And we had what's his name, Marquise Daniels.
He's not that bad. He plays defense. Von Wafer's ass. Though.
And I think we still had Tony Allen at that point. Yeah, some of them, they were a good team. LeBron was just better. He took out a 35-year-old Paul Pierce, but obviously the most memorable game of that series was LeBron Game 6, where he went for 45, 11, and 8, and he single-handedly saved their season because that was a close game for Boston. If Boston lost 2 in a row to lose the series, they were up 3-2. Yeah. So that was one series that really stuck with me. You had the emergence of Rondo was playing well. I think that was the end of the Ray Allen. So Ray Allen went to Miami after that. Yeah. So a little bit of the same with Kevin Durant, like the whole loss and went to this thing. Obviously not as big as Kevin Durant, but that was the year. That was what made me realize, okay, LeBron has finally arrived. He's gonna win this year. Because the year before he came off the loss to Dallas. So everyone was like, yo, this guy's not clutch. He doesn't have what it takes to win it.
He came with a vengeance, man.
He came out and he's like, yo. And that's when he held the ball in KG's face. Like he hated the Celtics.
That's when KG got crossed by Dwayne Wade bad too, right?
Yeah.
Made him do a 360.
Yeah. And then, yeah. That was just I fucking hate that series. But that was the series that stuck to me the most. And that was the one I'm like, yo, I had to say this one. All right, best playoff performance. What playoff run? And I think we're doing a player, right?
Yeah.
So which one playoff run was like where you listen and you're watching and you're just like, yo, this is all time. This is great. This is special.
2015 LeBron James Finals.
Oh, so when he lost Kevin Love and Kyrie.
Yeah, he had nobody.
Yeah, he had no one. I think he lost Kevin Love against Boston when Kelly Olynyk pulled his arm out.
Yeah, he's playing with like Seti Osman. Like
yeah. No, he didn't have Osman at that point.
What did he have?
He had Deladova.
Yeah, oh god.
Deladova and Tristan Thompson were his top 2 best players. And then Kyrie got injured game 1 of the finals. Mm-hmm. So yeah, he put in perspective, he was averaging like 45, like 13 and 13.
He's busting ass.
He was busting ass, and the fact that they won 2 games in that series, he was really showing that the Cavs might be the better team over the Warriors.
Definitely.
Yeah, they if they were healthy,
not
they might
just the Cavs as is, but like him as a player,
he was just like
showed that I'm here. Like
yeah,
like that was a statement.
I'm still the best player. Like after that game, after that series, everyone was like, yo.
We're shook.
He should have won the MVP. The fact that Iguodala won the MVP because he was playing defense on LeBron showed a lot to his performance in that series. Okay, so my that series and that entire playoffs, he was going nuts the entire playoff. I think wasn't that the one where he given Toronto the business?
Swept them.
2016, no, the Toronto won 2, no? Toronto won 2.
And then 2015, did he sweep them? When did he sweep them?
Oh, it's 2015, no.
2015 he swept Toronto.
Oh no, that's when they swept the Hawks. They swept the Hawks in the Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah, the 60-win team Hawks. So they were dominant. Yeah, they were going crazy. My favorite playoff performance till this day, 2011, Dirk swept the Lakers. Who else did they beat that year? They beat the Grizzlies, I think.
They beat a bunch of teams.
They beat the Spurs too, I think, that year.
Yeah.
They beat the Spurs, and then they won in the finals against Miami, which was probably the most important. Not the most important, but that to me, if every ring had a value in terms of how hard it was to get, that would probably be the most weighted ring of all time. That was probably the hardest, most like. 'Cause think about it. Everyone on the team was old. Dirk went nuts on his own.
Sean Stevenson went nuts.
He was
like Sean Marion, Jason Kidd,
Jason Terry,
the Jet. Like, oh
yeah,
God.
like it was a lot of old veteran
For
players.
a second, I thought Josh Howard was still playing on that team too.
There's a lot of old veteran players that came together, led by Dirk, and Dirk went absolutely like berserk, and he had to avenge himself from his 2006 loss to Miami. So the fact that we got a Miami thing again.
They had a couple. That was a couple losses there.
Great series. We got the iconic Mark Cuban versus Skip Bayless run, like where he fucking demolished him from that. We also got. That's where the narrative where LeBron was a choker, all that stuff came. Like that
6
series
points,
is very, very important series. That defined that series actually.
That series, I thought LeBron went depressed.
Yeah, he went quiet. He stopped doing the dances, all of that. That series probably defined LeBron and made him who he was going forward. So it was a very important series. And so to me, that was just my favorite performance. He just went. Dirk was busting ass the entire playoffs. All right, so your best or favorite playoff game. If you had to pick one playoff game where it was nuts, like top to bottom nuts, what was it?
Sixers against Toronto. Kawhi Leonard hit the game winner.
That's a good one. Yeah, so that happened pretty recently. Like,
pretty recent.
Yeah,
that still comes on the internet.
Yeah,
that
shot. Oh my god, that might be one of the most clutch shots of all time.
That's the shot.
Yeah, it's called the shot.
Yeah. Like I think if Kawhi Leonard had the personality, he'd probably be on the cover of NBA 2K right now. Yeah. But he doesn't have a personality, so they don't put him there.
Yeah.
But other than that, that was the biggest shot of like the world, city, like
that shot was like, okay, cool, we're gonna win this championship.
Like we don't care how much he left, but what he left for us
that was a shot where I'm like, okay, we're gonna win it this year. Yeah. Like we're winning, because I think on the other side, KD just got hurt.
Oh yeah, he did.
So in that series, the series before the Blazers, I forgot which one it was, but he got hurt. Oh no, it was the Clippers. He got hurt against the Clippers. But what's it called? So that was where I'm like, yo. Because every championship team has that lucky moment of the season where it's like, yo, okay, cool, they're gonna win this now. Like that whole luck-defining moment. And to me, when that happened, the Raptors won that series based off that shot. I'm like, all right, cool, we're gonna win it. I was 100% certain about it. To me, my favorite playoff game or best playoff game of the decade was Miami versus Spurs Game 6, aka the first shot, where Ray Allen gets the rebound and goes to the corner. Boom, for the win.
I just put the whole world on.
And then they came back and won. They were okay. So to put in perspective, it was a 3-2 series. The Spurs were on the verge of winning. The rope was out. They're ready to block. The security is blocking out the stands. The championship trophy. The Larry O.B. was in the tunnel waiting to come out. It was like that. Like they were about to win that series. And so pretty much all it took. LeBron came down twice. He hit 3 first, and then the second time he hit he shot a 3, missed. And this is a big coaching mistake by probably the greatest coach of all time, Pop. He took Tim Duncan out so they can have more defenders. Tim Duncan's not in there. Chris Bosh gets a rebound, kicks it out, 3. That says it all. Probably the best.
That was the end of it, yo.
That game sent chills through my spine. I remember watching that in front of the TV. Like I was sitting there as a kid. And I'm like, yo, that might be the great. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, Like that was inspiring to me. That really, that really did something to me. And the fact that it's Ray Allen, one of my favorite players, is pretty cool. All right, so best moment. What was the best moment of the decade for you?
LeBron leaving from city to city. I know. I'm
Which
trolling.
one? Which one?
Which so heavy right now?
Which one? Oh, the first leave or the second one?
All of them. All of them.
LeBron leaving.
LeBron
Fuck
has to be
Cleveland.
like.
Fuck Cleveland.
Yeah, LeBron has to be the funniest character of the NBA I've ever seen in my life. Like, he has to be the funniest.
One,
Like, not
two,
one, not two, zero.
Not three.
And
not
then
four.
then they-
Not five.
Then he came back to Cleveland, took money, made the team win,
Made him trade Wiggins.
made
Made him
him
trade
trade.
everyone.
Then he left. Left. Not even did. He didn't even leave on good terms. He left on terms of like Isaiah Thomas' ass. I don't want him. Like what? Like he left saying Isaiah Thomas' ass.
Yeah.
Like verbatim, Isaiah Thomas and my team is ass. Cedi Osman's ass. Tristan Thompson's ass. Like everyone's ass. I don't want to be here anymore. And he left the Lakers.
LeBron, tell us about that. Not two.
Oh
not
God.
three,
Oh God.
not four,
Not five. Not six.
You couldn't even get to 3. You couldn't even get to 3. My.
Oh my God! Yeah. So yeah, that was actually pretty hilarious. Yeah,
I was so dumb.
that was a pretty So the fact that he did not win 1, 2, 3, like he didn't win 3, 4, 5, that was a pretty good moment. To me, my favorite moment, Toronto championship. So I'm from Toronto. We expected to not win anything ever. We were definitely the most cursed.
Your
city.
arms.
We were the most cursed city sports wise. Like, bro, we were like the least were choking against the Bruins. Raptors, we had DeMar DeRozan. The Jays were getting punched in the face by Rognet Odor. Like,
That was a good punch.
boom.
Shout out to my boy.
But yeah, so growing up a Toronto fan, a sports fan, you can ask any Toronto sports fan. They would tell you that we were destined to not win anything. Like Joe Carter was the last great sports thing to ever happen to us. Like the last great championship. That was a lot. Obviously, the Argonauts have won the TFC one, but we don't give a fuck about them. So
I enjoyed the TFC win. That was a good one.
I'm super good on that. But
You know they didn't get a. You know they didn't get a thing. They didn't get a
parade or anything.
No one did. The Argonauts did though.
Yeah. No one really cares about those ones. But yeah, so as a Toronto fan, sports fan, you're just like, yo, we were never gonna win anything. And then so when this championship happened, we had the biggest parade. I think it was like over 2 million people showed up to the parade. So to put in perspective, 2.5 million people live in the city, and 2 million people were at the parade. What else was there?
That's crazy.
Yeah, people were sitting on buses. Like I was on a bus. Like my experience of that whole parade, winning it, and like all of that was just surreal. Like I didn't think I'd ever experience that, especially at my age right now. I thought I was gonna be a lot older, have kids, like wouldn't be able to experience it like I did. But that was definitely to me like, yo, that's something like that very touched me. That was like a best moment for me. So I enjoyed that. Most clutch shot playoffs.
Okay. I'm gonna hear 1,000 different things about this.
Yeah.
Honor up. Devin Booker not calling glass.
No playoffs, bro.
Playoff.
Oh yeah, you can go regular season too. That's fine.
Um.
Devin Booker not calling glass. Devin Booker never made the playoffs, big boy.
Damn. Clutch playoff game winner. Damn, that's hard. I didn't even do this. I thought it was regular season.
Okay, what would you put for regular season?
Westbrook to end the season on Denver Nuggets. That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a really good
Wasn't
shot.
that like the last game of the season?
That was the last game of the season. So
Okay,
if they won that game, Minnesota would go out,
Yeah.
and if he missed that shot, Minnesota would have went in.
Okay, I'll give you that one. I count that as the playoffs. That's fine. I'll count that as the playoffs.
Alright.
All right, so to me, Dame Lillard twice, one versus Houston to end the series, versus OKC end the series, and Kawhi versus the Sixers. Those are my 3. I'll probably take the OKC one just because of the wave and all of that.
Man said,
Ended the OKC dynasty, not dynasty, but like ended the OKC's run. Now they have Chris Paul and Gallinari. They had to pretty much break up their team, and so that changed the entire NBA as well.
Wow.
So to me, that was the big one. The
Okay.
Dame versus OKC from long ass distance too. Best finals. What was your best finals?
2013 finals.
2013. I had that
That was
too.
fun. LeBron taking off his headband, showing everyone the real hairline,
Yeah.
hitting that shot, missing it, hitting it again. That was a bear ruckus in
Yeah.
one. That was too much drama. Like the game before that, Gary Neal, Patty Mills, Daniel Green went off.
Nuts.
Then LeBron came back,
Yeah.
went off,
Yeah.
and then that was just like.
So to me, I had that one, and I also had the 2016 Cavs 3-1 comeback. Ended up with Kyrie Irving hitting a 3 for the win. Definitely up there. Yeah, those two were probably the best finals I've watched. Those were the most competitive. They went 7, both of them. Both of them had comebacks. Both of them had big shots. Big moments that were defined
Huge.
people's careers. So yeah, I really can't I don't think there's any other finals that was more competitive than those two. All time playoff performances. So that was the thing. The best or favorite championship team.
Okay.
What was the best championship team of the decade?
My runner up is 2011 Lakers with Trevor Ariza.
Okay.
Yeah. Another run up is 2013
They
Miami.
won in 2011?
2011, 2012, they win? No.
No, you're talking about 2010,
2011.
2010.
Runner up.
2010. 2009, 2010.
Runner up, Miami Heat 2013. They didn't win though. They didn't win that one. Did they win that one? No, they didn't.
Which one?
2013 Miami Heat.
Yeah.
They did?
2013 they won. They lost 24.
And then, of course, the one and only, my hometown city, the Raptors.
Yeah.
Why? First ever to do it. First massive, commercial USA dominated television show to win. So my thing's Toronto. Toronto is my best championship team.
Yeah.
It feels good to say, yo.
Yeah.
It feels so surreal to say that my city won. Cause I'm usually always seeing people on the internet yeah, your city never wins, or
Yeah.
your city's like this, or your city's like that.
Yeah, and the fact that we're Canadian and all that stuff, it's we don't get respected by other fan bases.
everyone's go play hockey. And I'm like, we won a
We
championship,
suck at
so,
hockey, so
I don't see Milwaukee winning. I don't see Chicago winning anytime soon.
yeah.
So, how about you? What's on
Okay,
yours?
so my best championship team, in terms of the best, 2017 Warriors. They had 73 win team.
That's a
Lost.
sweep
They
pause,
added Durant. Yeah,
was a
Durant was hitting that big shot on LeBron.
Is that when he pulled up in? That's when he pulled up in game one. LeBron hit a dunk,
Yeah.
and he pulled up at the end of game one and just said, "Nah, I'm good." Yeah. It's let's just go home, guys.
Yeah.
And it was just.
Durant was arguably the best player in the world at that time, and the fact that he was on the better team.
I think he's the best since 2015.
I think probably since his MVP season, to be honest.
2015.
But then he had a couple injury years, so that's why he didn't play.
Again, when you look that skinny, of course you're gonna get injured.
Yeah. So Durant up there for sure. But yeah, so there's either them or the 2012 Heat. 2012 Heat, again, they won off that big shot. They won on the Ray Allen shot. They had a dominant regular season, probably best of the decade in my opinion. Yeah, they were just huge. Okay, best finals win.
Best finals win. Back again. Toronto.
Really?
Again, it's gonna keep being Toronto for me because
We were so attached to the city.
I'm so attached.
Yeah.
It's not even I'm a bit attached. I'm extremely attached.
Yeah.
It was really good to see. Although there was stupid things happening between after that, but it was a good thing to see. That was just that team made it seem like teams like Cleveland, no, not Cleveland, teams like Phoenix Suns can win.
Yeah.
With a couple money spent. So
All right, so in my best finals win was the 2011 Mavs. I just think that was the most least probable win, least probable championship team of the decade, maybe behind the Raptors. Actually, So to me, it's the Raptors and the Mavs. Both of them are going to define their star players' legacy. Dirk was gonna retire without a ring if it wasn't for that. Kawhi Leonard came back off an injury where he left the best franchise in the NBA, the best coach probably of all time.
yeah.
He pretty much dissed them, demanded trade, left, proved to everyone that he could win. He's not a system player. It was just huge for him. So yeah, both of those are career defining wins, NBA history defining wins, all time runs by star players, and very good, solid, all around teams. So both of those are my best finals wins. Your best dynasty.
So this is the future. This is like we're getting close to this is the best dynasty. So the best dynasty, but that best dynasty of the decade,
Yeah.
arguably for me, Spurs. Spurs is the Spurs is like basketball camp that no one wants to go to. Sorry, fat camp that no one wants to go
Yeah.
to, because like it's the most hardworking team through and throughout. The least most the least most spoke about team. Like
Yeah.
even in power rankings, no one ever says Spurs, because like if Spurs were so vibrant and out loud, they'd be one. They would be number one in the power rankings no matter what. Because they're not as vibrant and as loud as a team, they're not chosen as number one. So for me, that dynasty takes people like Simmons, people like Kawhi Leonard, people that didn't know how to shoot, people that barely could play D, and made them amazing. They took Tim Duncan from swimming and made him an all-time great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People like the Admiral didn't even know how to make a jump shot. Admiral's like, I want to shoot guns in the army. He like made him.
No, the Spurs as a franchise definitely developed
Most
the
definitely
They probably have the most homegrown talent and created into a dynasty.
Oh yeah.
Big three, obviously, Manu, Tony, and Thing. They've done they've been the most consistent. So you definitely have to put them in the running, even if they haven't really won back to back ever. Like they never back to back or three-peated, but they have won over a long period of time. So you can consider them a dynasty. To me, the best dynasty, the most dominant of this decade, Warriors. It's Warriors or the Heat again. Like those are the two super teams of the decade. Those are the two big teams of the decade. They're the benchmarks of the decade. When we compare dominant teams of the decade to other dominant teams, those are the two teams that we're gonna be comparing with because those are the two best teams. Honorable mention goes to those OKC teams with all three MVPs. RIP to that. That could have been great. But yeah, so yeah, those are the teams that I thought were the best dynasties of the decade. Okay, so now that we are going into the next decade,
We're going into the next decade.
who do you think will be the best player of this next decade? So okay, it's safe to say LeBron is not the best player in the world anymore, right? So moving forward, 2020 on to 2030 or 2019 to 2029. Who do you
I have
think?
somebody that plays now in this decade.
Yeah.
Devin Booker. Why? Devin Booker shows light to Kobe Bryant. I think if Devin Booker just plays defense, I argue he'd be.
So that's my question with Devin Booker. I don't know if he can be. I think for him to be that next level, he has to be a 5-6 assist guy, and B, he has to be a defender.
T-Mac wasn't a 5-6 assist guy either.
T-Mac was like 5.
Maybe like 4.
Yeah, 4 or 5. But T-Mac was.
But Devin Booker he does get 4 or 5.
No, Devin Booker gets like 2 assists a game. He's trash. He's not.
So
pass the ball.
let's say that gets better.
He needs to play make and play defense.
So if that gets better, arguably the best in the future. Again, this is towards the future. I'd say him. I can't just say Zion right off the bat because Zion hasn't even played a game yet. So
Definitely.
for me, it's Devin Booker.
Yeah, cool. All right, so to me, so obviously there's obvious picks like Giannis, AD, they're already here.
Wow.
Like we
Give me
know-
somebody that no one would like think about.
Okay, so to me, this might actually sound crazy. It might be Trae Young.
Yeah,
Trae Young.
Trae Young was my runner
Young
up.
and Luka Doncic.
Yeah, mine. I had Trae Young and Kevin Herter.
Oh,
Those are my two. Kevin Herter's really good.
yeah. But I think Luka Doncic can be good for a long time.
He's already good.
Yeah, he's gonna be.
Like he's already playing like he's been playing basketball his whole life.
Yeah,
So he's gonna be an all-star next
He
year.
came out the bat guns blazing. And
He's gonna be an all-star next
Now
year.
he has Porzingis with them. He's gonna do damage. Like he's gonna get more playoff reps now. The future's bright for him. Trae Young. This trade might be the best trade of all time in terms of no one lost.
Yeah.
Cause bro, like Trae Young is gonna be great too. He's fucking water. He needs to work on his defense, but in terms of playmaking and scoring, he has it. He has it.
He has the offense in his pocket.
Yeah, his defense he has to work on. He's a little undersized, which might be an issue, but I mean Steph Curry worked for him, so who knows, right? So who's your next dynasty?
So my first dynasty I thought about first of all right away was gonna be Phoenix Suns.
Okay.
But then I put I had to change it up. Phoenix Suns are my runner up now. Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah.
Atlanta Hawks. Atlanta Hawks are going to be one hell of a team.
Yeah.
Even this season alone, they're going to be one hell of a team in the East.
Yeah.
Again, Kevin Herter, 3-point contest.
Yeah.
Trae Young he's going to kill it. Yeah. They're just like it's going to be great. Like it's going to be fun watching those young guys play. Again, they're only 19, 20 years old.
Yeah.
Kevin Herter is like 21.
Yeah.
They have so much time potential.
Yeah.
So I got Atlanta Hawks.
Okay. So to me, I'm gonna pull up the roster right now, but it's the Mavs.
With Tim Hardaway, Porzingis, Doncic.
Tim Hardaway, Porzingis, Doncic, Boban Marjanovic, what's his Tim Hardaway Jr.
That's the full up racist squad, eh?
Harrison Barnes. Okay, so this is their team. They have the younger Antetokounmpo, Barrera still, Barnes, Trey Burke, Luka Doncic, Tim Hardaway Jr., Devin Harris, Justin Jackson, DeAndre Jordan. No, this is last year's.
It's last year's. That's when I heard. Giannis' little brother. It's impossible. He plays for Lakers now.
Yeah, I was like, yo, what the fuck? Okay, so the roster for the Mavs. I got confused there. So Luka Doncic, DeLon Wright, Devin Harris, JJ Barrera, Courtney Lee, Seth Curry, Tim Hardaway Jr., Justin Jackson.
Seth Curry doesn't play with Timberwolves anymore. Blazers anymore.
Dwight Powell, which is a very underrated player.
Canadian.
Porzingis, and Boban Marjanovic. I think that team, that guard rotation of Luka, DeLon, and Seth Curry, nasty. Their big rotation of Kristaps and Dwight Powell and what's his name? What's that guy? Fuck, I don't even know his name. But I think their big man rotation is good. They have solid wings and Tim Hardaway Jr., who's a scorer. He gets buckets. I think this team can really work and they have a good mix of veteran leadership and young guys. So I really like this team. I think they can do some real damage, especially moving forward, especially if they get one more piece maybe. But yeah, that's my team going forward. Honorable mention to Suns, honorable mention to the Celtics maybe. Honorable mention to the Raptors maybe. They have a good young team. Next dynasty could also be the Sixers. Right now the Sixers look nasty.
The hottest team in the East.
Yeah, maybe it depends on on these LA teams. Depends on how long they're together. They might win 2, 3, 4 championships themselves. Right?
There's so much.
There's so many teams that you can do. I think we decided to go with the younger teams, more towards the end of the decade, because those are harder to predict. But in terms of teams right now ready to win for the next 3 years, Lakers, Clippers. What's his name? The Spurs are low key, a pretty underrated team now that they got back. What's his name? What's the point guard's name? DeJounte Murray. I think that's a really underrated team. The Nuggets. The Nuggets look like they're gonna blossom and take that next step. Maybe now that they have some playoff experience. It's hard to say, man. The future is looking bright though. That's for sure. I think the future of the NBA is actually really, really good, in good hands right now. Yeah. So I think that might be the end of our podcast. Actually.
That's it.
Yeah. So we went through an entire decades of NBA in about an hour and 10 minutes.
So how does that make you feel? Hey, that's actually what you said. We were talking about it 2 days ago. You're like, it's going to be about an hour, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. My timing's impeccable. But what's it called? No, it just makes me excited and to see what's next for basketball. Because, think about it. We've watched the 2000s. We watched 2010s. Now we're going to watch 2020s. It's exciting to see where basketball is going to go. We don't know. 10 years ago, we couldn't have told you the Toronto Raptors are going to win 2019.
I had no idea.
See, we couldn't have told you any of this shit. This shit we couldn't predict. So that's why I'm excited to see what happens in 10 years. And, bro, in 10 years, what? I'm going to be, 33? You're going to be, 35? So, we're going to be at a place where, we can pass on what we know about basketball, we've heard about basketball to younger generation. So... and people that are gonna grow up what we were in 2019, where in 2009, where basketball was probably my life at that point. That's where that's where I fell in love with the game. So the kids that are at that point in their life right now, it's exciting to see where they're gonna take basketball and just
I hope they fall in love with the way we do.
Yeah, exactly, and hope they take care of the game like we do. And who knows, we might even pass the NFL, to be honest, at this rate. So yeah, that's the end of our podcast. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.
I think they're gonna like it. For people like basketball and whatnot.
Yeah.
Our opinion is very, very, very
Yeah, I think we know a lot about basketball. I think this podcast will show that we do know a lot about basketball. I think the future podcast, like next week, we're gonna do a preseason preview. So we're gonna talk about everything that's gonna happen this season and what we think is gonna happen, who we think is gonna end up winning. We're gonna do podcasts maybe every 2 weeks to a month, maybe of the season, depending on how often things are happening. So we're gonna try to keep as updated as possible on the NBA season. I think we have good insight. If you think we have good insight, leave some love, show us some love, leave some feedback, do all of that. Like, comment, subscribe, share, tag House of Highlights, tag Bleacher Report. Show us that love so we can keep doing this and keep making this, and it could be continue to be successful. I'm your host Shanthosh.
My name is Wazir.
Thank you for tuning.